I thought that there was a lot of cream left over, so I did it again. Well, I think I've got even more clotted cream here. I think maybe I had done too much for not long enough. That's the butter. Well, it's still quite creamy. I was going to say buttermilk, but I think it's still quite creamy. Let me deal with it. I haven't got my tripod. Got another whole tub of exquisite, delicious clotted cream. And I've still got that left. And I've tasted it, and it tastes fine, and it's still quite thick. So I'm going to do it again. No one tell me I'm going to kill myself, because it'll be fine. Basically, I'm pasteurising it. Look at me, look like a nutcase. This afternoon, I've been pootling around, just getting stuff done. I've been going about with my broom. I really love brooming with the broom like this. This makes me feel, don't know, just like it. Thought I'd give you a little tour, rubbing my nose. I thought I'd give you a little tour of my kitchen, patio, terrace thing. Because it doesn't often get a moment of its own. So I'm going to flick you around. So most of this patio's in a bit of shade at some point in the day, because the sun starts over there and it sets behind me there, which is really, it's nice to have a bit of shade. So these are beginning to drop. I've put them out here. This is a camellia, and it's not doing brilliantly in this pot. So when I sort out around by the new bit over there, I'm going to dig a blooming big hole, fill it with ericaceous, and plant that. Then up here I've got a climbing rose. It's very beautiful, but it's gone over a bit now. It will come back again. Can you see it up there? I'll put the name of this in. I can't remember off the top of my head what it is. I think it's on a label here. Let's see if we can decipher it. Espressa fleur de juin. Despreza fleur de juin. I can just make that out. Look at that. Little stowaways. Aren't they stunning? Actually, they look more pale in the camera. They are that colour. That's a little stowaway. All of my roses are terrible for black spot and rust at the moment, so I'm trying to keep on top of that with neem oil that I've put in that old trigger gun. These are Toby's, oh dear, what's happened to that? These are Toby's maple trees. He loves Japanese maples, but he doesn't look after them. I look after them for him. Another greeny one here. This is lovely lime colour in the spring. This one's beautiful. And then this is a new one that my mum got him last birthday. Really interesting leaf. Oh, I don't know. This is standard rose. It's recovering. Yeah, everything's got rust, look. It's recovering. It didn't do very well last year. I think it got too dry. Box. And then This is another rose again. Gosh. This one, there was an earwig in there. That's the one thing that creeps me out. Ugh, I can see it. Ugh. Ugh, it's made my bum go funny. Ugh. 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 Oh, I'm scared to touch it now. This one is beautiful. Madame Alfred Carrier, and she does well in shade as well. I forgot to say, this road is called Spirit of Freedom. My friend Laura gave me that. And it's up there, and I need to dig it out for when we do the walkway through to the hangout place. So then down here, I've got a little dahlia and a gora. I grew this from seed last year, so it's going to take a little while. And some sweet peas. And some little, these are left over from last year. And then I ordered recently some lily of the valley, and I did not think that they would come about to flower, but here they are. Oh, and this is a campanula, the one I bought the other day. These two things got a bit dry, so they're gone a bit brown, but they're lovely. They're emerald hebe, little emerald. That's what they're called. And then this is a container sweet pea. It's normally on the table, but I've got the jug there. And these lavenders, I put them in about 3 years ago, and they were tiny, tiny little pots like that. Look at the size of them. That's my hand. That's how big they are. Got two different types. I was a bit of a wally because I did one type, different type, one type. I should have gone, what's the word? I should have taken them in turns. A couple of dahlias in pots there. My sage was monster, it was huge. So I hacked it all back because it was ridiculous. And look, it's grown back, very well behaved. I love all of these, softening up the steps. This is one of those campanulas. Same as the one I just bought. And I'll show you in a second what it will look like. This is some sort of gypsophilia, but not your normal kind. And this is my Queen of Sweden rose. She's lovely. Just headed her, so she's in a state of waiting for the next round. Look at this, look. It's so bad, guys. Another one of Toby's maples here. Japanese anemone. You saw the jasmine yesterday. Here's another jasmine. This one's a jasminoids tracheospermum, I want to say, but I think I might be wrong. So this is how it looks from here. Looks a bit weird in the film. Haven't I got a big roof? So weird. More Japanese anemone here. This is a gorgeous hebe. This was a cutting I took from my neighbour Annie and Dave. Neighbours Annie and Dave. They've since moved. I missed them, but hopefully I'll see them next week. Actually, I need to go and pick a date, so I better do that in a second. So I've got to dig this out, which is a shame because look at all the new growth. Incredible. And I've got to dig this one out. This one's got a bit upset because this Montana clematis grew over it. Another hebe there. Isn't it lovely? I love it. And then this rose, which is as tall as, hang on. That's how tall it is. This was a cutting Isn't it beautiful? It's a really old-fashioned rose. And it's one of the only cuttings, only roses, one of the only, what am I saying? There was sort of a rose garden and it had gone to rack and ruin, and we had to take it out. So I took cuttings of all the roses, but this was the only rose type that took. Gosh, it's spectacular. The length of these stems with single flowers on, beautiful. Don't know why I'm trying to do this at this time of day, because we live on a lane that's a bit of a cut through and it's rush hour. No washing. That was a bargain campanula, as was that one. £2 they cost me in the bargain basement. And that one. And that one. And this is the one that I bought recently. Again, and the one that I just pointed out to you. Aren't they lovely? So very happy here. This is creeping thyme, and they just love it. It dangles down, it trails a bit. It's just heaven. So many little bees, all in my lavender. This is the lavender, some of it that I cut, and I've done it the last 2 years. I've taken it to Sherry Iris. She uses them for her little lavender pouches. I want to show you my pride and joy now. You'll be so proud of me. My olive tree. But I haven't given up hope, because look, it looks like something's going on there. And there. I did hear somewhere that olive trees, they can sulk. So you can just cut them back aggressively and then they perk up again. But, well, we'll see. Some dahlias in there. Right, I need to go back down now. Got some hostas here. 2 different types in there. I'm going to separate them in the winter. And that fern, I need to move that. Actually, that one, it's nice, but I hate the pot. I need to get a nice pot. I can't stand plastic pots. Just, I mean, they're brilliant because, you know, they hold the water, but I just don't like what they look like. And this is, goodness only knows what's going on with this. What is that in there? That's a stowaway. That's a walnut. No, it's a horse chestnut. Left the walnut in there. Yeah, it's not doing very well. And there's a dandelion. Never mind. I've got some lettuce coming in this zinc pot. This one's my oldest hosta. I think it's 10 years old. Didn't do very well for the first probably 5 years of its life because I didn't know what I was doing and it kept getting eaten. But I put it in this zinc bin and now nothing eats it. And I like it, but Toby doesn't. But he's wrong. And over here, some agapanthus. That's in a horrible plastic pot. You've seen this. It's a standard verbena something. That's going to go in the ground in the new bit over there. I showed you this the other day. Tranquility. Oh, it is ever so pretty. Look at that. And I've got some more agapanthus here. But I forgot to feed them last year, I think. I don't remember doing it. And looking at the flowers, the fact that there's only one flower on this one. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one 5, and they're tiny, is telling me that I probably didn't feed them. And I've got a weed in there. Look. Let's pull it out. Bloody thing. Oh, it's bringing up all the mud as well. Shove it in there. And that's just a stowaway. I like it. Beautiful. There we go. That's your tour. Because I haven't really shown you very much today. Because I've been very busy. And tomorrow we're taking Bill to see his new college, so I'm very excited about that. Look, the campanula. The bees love it. What is nice is that nearly everything that I plant, the bees love and I love. What's this? An Albrita deltoidea variegata. Oh, it's breaking. There we go. So there's a little tour of my kitchen garden. Sweet. Popper made me that. I need to do it up. In the sun, which is not the best time to show it off. In the rush hour, which is not, again, the best time to do the filming. Never mind. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you hated it. Let me know if you did not enjoy this. I know some of you do really enjoy the garden, but some of you might not. So do let me know, just because I'd be interested to see how often to include the garden. You see, it's really nice for me to be able to look back on and to remember, because if it wasn't for the fact that I did a vlog in June about 3 years ago when I put those lavenders in, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't have realised how much they'd grown. So I do quite like doing these vlogs. Look, can you see my tablecloth there? I've washed it. I've ironed it, washed it. The mistakes didn't wash out. I didn't iron over those, so they should have washed out. And now I need to hem it. But that's for another day. See you tomorrow.